Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Chris with a really interesting discussion. So over the weekend, I made a very conscious decision to focus a lot more, which I already do. I focus on smaller footwear companies, but I made a conscious decision to reach out to a lot of brands, and I said, hey, feed me this information, man. I'm getting about 11,000 unique visitors, which is nothing compared to the bigger sneaker websites and people who are talking sneakers, but they all talk about Nike and Yeezy. That's never been my thing. I've always wanted to educate, and this is one that you're going to really like. I'm not going to do anything negative on this or say anything that could be considered hating. I'm simply going to give you some insight because I got an email from G Macy, and he's like, I want to start my own basketball shoe company, but I read a lot of the stuff that you had written, and I'm just not sure. And I was like, yeah, don't do it. Go find a company that needs you and support that company and grow together. And then I was like, you know what? Let me go and look back at a lot of the companies because I often talk about Kickstarter. I was a Kickstarter, so I funded on Kickstarter before. And when I talk with people, but I was doing it at a point where I ran up against a big machine, but we won't get into that. I had spoken to Matt Walters when Matt was getting ready to launch his first Kickstarter. And this was when he was about to launch it, and I did a Project Plus exec on Matt. I'm going to put the link to these articles below in the description so you can go and read those. But Matt funded and got $30,000 in 23 hours on his sneaker boot. And it's important for you guys to understand this because a lot of the people out here are trying to start businesses, but you don't have a clearly defined point of view. You don't know where you're headed. All right. Matt knew he wanted a boot that was all leather, that was waterproof, that was sneaker-like, that people would buy, and he created that. He sat down, he sketched it, he went over to China, and he made this shoe, and then he came back and he did his first Kickstarter, funded at, in 23 hours at $30,000 in 23 hours. I think it was more than that. And then he showed you the work, and this was important. And I went onto his channel to watch the video, and in that video, in this video, let me see if I can go to it so you guys can see this thing. I actually put the video in here because he sent me the clip, and let the fun begin. And he shows you him unloading all of these shoes. Anyway, I want to make sure that you guys see that because Matt did something that I typically tell people: if you continuously go back to the well, you're going to limit the reach of what you're attempting to do because you're not building your platform. So what we're going to look at is the fact that this is the first Kickstarter. So if you're looking over here to my side, you see CODDI Boots for Your Next Adventure, and you see that it was funded. So he funded this one. We can, as a matter of fact, I'll open the link in a new tab so you can see it. It funded at $61,000. So that $30,000. He funded 336 backers, 61,000, and then he did a great job of getting the product out to the consumer, right? So it's it's super impressive to see that. Two, I would have said build your platform. Do not continuously go back to the well of Kickstarter because those are not your customers. Those are Kickstarter's customers, and they will not follow you to your page. And here he is doing something on his site where I would have said, build your site, man. Begin to grow your site. He did not do that. And smart for him. It's like, hey, I didn't listen to Chris. I did this. I went back, and I didn't speak to him. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I talked with Matt or anything else. What I'm doing is bringing up to you that it's possible to return to the well if your initial Kickstarter funded and you got the product to the people quickly, right? You did everything that you were supposed to do, because what tends to happen is a lot of the times people will do Kickstarters and they take a long time to ship. Matt didn't take a long time to ship. He got the product to the consumer. It was just a very well organized Kickstarter. Now, what does that mean for you guys who are considering doing this? Well, the second Kickstarter, which is going right now and it still has 10 days left, and he only looked to get $10,000. He set a moderate goal. He gave people really good rewards. And then he reproduced the same thing that he did on the first one. And he is now at $102,000. This is the most inspiring thing that I'm sure any of you potential entrepreneurs can see. And I think it's equally as important for me to share this information. If you want to, I'm going to put the link in the description for you to click through and go to the page. If you want to get a pair of the sneaker boots, the CODDI sneaker boots, and support what Matt is doing, then definitely do that, man, because this is typically not the way I would say you should do it. I don't think you should go back to the well over and over, because if you do, what will happen is it could potentially break. And I said I wasn't going to get into that part of it. And I was wrong already in regard to going back to the well. The initial was 61,000. This one is 100. And think about this. He's a one-man team. It's just Matt. So even if his production was, I would say a boot like this in Portugal probably cost about $70 to ship and land. So we're looking at $70 to ship and land, 70 times, and let's say 485 backers. You're talking $28,000 to produce the shoes and get them here, right? Now you're talking the packing and shipping, which on each pair, if you do 400, is going to be about, on a shoe like that, you're talking the size of the box, you're looking at about a $20 shipping. 40 times 20, that's 8,000. We're nowhere near. Matt is possibly generating right around 50,000 after Kickstarter takes their fees, which I think is 10%. I can't remember. He's down from that 100,000 to about 90,000. He's making about $40,000 a year as an independent business person. The write-offs that he has included in that, he's accomplishing something amazing. And I know somebody is out there like 40,000. That's not even a lot of money. Well, he can also parlay this into something that I see as a very cool thing that he's added to this, right? And I'm going through all of the pictures here so I can get down to the bottom. He's got the sticker pack. He's got the trucker hat. He's got the hoodie. And these are low-cost items to add as rewards for your backers. This is a great story. And this is something that you need to see. You have to see this, okay? Because we want other brands to shine just as much as, if you take a moment and think about all of the sneaker sites that exist. When you go to those sneaker sites, tell me how many articles you see on other brands. If you take Yeezy and Jordan and Nike off of the front page of every sneaker site you visit, how many articles would there be? That's what I'm trying to change. And that's why this information is important, and I hope you appreciate it. That's it. Congrats to Matt on funding twice on Kickstarter. I still want him to start building that website, but as a one-man team, man, it's difficult to do all of it. I will see you guys on the next one. That's it. More of this type of information coming throughout the weekend from now on. I'm going to try to make sure I talk about a new shoe company every day. It won't be a video, but it definitely will be on the website. So go to the website and subscribe. arch-usa.com. Hit the links below to support CODDI. Congrats, Matt. I was going to give you a thumbs up, but then I felt kind of cheesy. Peace, y'all.